Alright, yeah, and welcome back to the final episode with our Temur Energy deck. So, next week I'll be running a subscriber deck back again. So, if you want to have your deck featured in a future episode, then be sure to leave it down in the comment section below. Send me it on Twitter or by email. Whichever one is fine with you is fine with me. As always, this episode is sponsored by 5 Color Combo, so if you check the description, you'll find a link to their website where you can find customized tokens, as well as a Kickstarter for their brand new app. So if you like what you see, which I imagine you probably would, then be sure to back it and make it a thing. Alright guys, I will see you in the game. Alright, we're in. We're on the draw. We have 1 green source and nothing else going for this hand, so we'll throw it back. We have a lot of lands that will eventually lead to hydras. Yeah, sure. Some artifact removal, enchantment removal, that kind of thing. Opponent is rank 12 called XIIIX. Ooh, long toss cub. That's good. So we'll Evolving Wilds. We'll go grab a forest with this Evolving Wilds, which would mean with the Ether Hub and the forest we'll grab, we can play the Hydras and the Long Tusk Cubs on curve. So we'll grab our forest. Boosh. Unfortunately, that guy's going to get in the way. I might blow him up with the Appetite just so we can get in for the damage on a later turn. No point giving away that we're doing any sort of energy shenanigans, kind of, or that we're more than one colour. It's the only reason you'd really play an Ether Hub, I think. So we'll play our cub out, pass the turn. Next turn, if he doesn't play any defense, then we will Appetite away that Ether Hub, get in, gain some energy, and be off to the races. Start building up that energy for our Hydras. Getting in for 2, that makes my job easier. I don't care about blowing it up anymore. Unless he plays another creature, then I might blow that one up instead. Though I like the idea of the card draw when this one dies. Esper. So, the upside of blowing up the Ruined Servitor is that we both get to draw and it bounces his Esper back. The downside is he gets to keep his Esper, and I think I'd rather have that gone than bounce him for reduced value. So I think I'm gonna blow up the Esper. Don't think I care too much. So we'll blow it up. Then we will get in for 2, gain 2 energy. Allows us to pump up our cub higher than the Ruined Servitor, so that we're no longer trading if he keeps it back. We can also get our Hydra down and have 2 triggers for it next turn. Chief of the Foundry. Interesting. Well, he's going to keep his Servitor back. So we are going to play the Ether Hub. And play down the Hydra, I think. Allows us to get in with the cub. With up to 3 triggers on it to make it a 5/5. If he wants to double block, that's fine. I take out his chief. Most likely. Yeah, okay. Well, we can't totally take him out, but can pump it enough to kill his chief. And actually, if I pump it totally, he goes down 1 and they both die, actually, I think. We've got a backup Hydra if he plans on removing it. Yeah, that's what I thought would happen. Cool. So we have a Hydra with its shields down, but the moment another Hydra or the Renegade comes down, then we're all good. Oh. That's an issue. We're out of red and double green. because I spent the energy. Oh yes, that's the problem. Smuggler's Copter needs something to crew it first, but it is quite a brutal card. Hey! Ask and ye shall receive. Alright, well, we'll play the Hydra down so that we have the energy open for either one of them. Now we can give them hexproof and a counter at will. And we can also play down our Renegades now because our Ether Hubs work again. So we've got a fair amount of damage on the board. Can he put enough blockers down or trick us out of killing our Hydras and things like that? Chief. Does that help him? He gets to crew with it, but that's just going to tap him out. I'm going to deal 8 damage to him. 10 if we double pump with the Hydra. So he gets the loot and attack us for 4. But I don't really think with one colourless mana open he's got much that he could get in the way of this. And we're just going to make a lot of energy on our turn. And widen our board. Who knows? Who knows? A bone saw. Okay. Fair enough. And we get a red source, which is good, because it means we don't have to expend any energy to play one of our grubs or renegades. I think we play both the renegades. That makes 8 energy. Then we can do 6 damage to him later. Yeah, that seems good to me. Boosh and boosh. Up to 10 energy. Swing in. We can still, yeah, continue playing. We can still leave, we can still activate one of the Hydras to keep it safe because we can still spend the red mana we gathered to make 2 more energy, which will be enough to get back up to the 8 we need for the Renegades. So I think we've got him here. Short of some sort of life gain. So he makes his 4/4. And a Thopter Spy Network, which does mean that when his Copter does deal damage, he will draw a card, but he is completely tapped out now. Even if he plays his land drop, I'm not sure that will do anything for him. I can't think what 1 mana would help him with. Dealing 5 damage with a bone saw. Okay. Okay. And he's getting in. Alright, and he gets the loot. Dropping a Whirler Rogue. That might have kept him alive for quite some time had he played it a while back, but unfortunately for him, we've got 8 damage on the board, and we've got 6 damage in triggers alone. So that is the game. GG! Right, I will see you in the next game. Okay, we're on the draw. We don't have green mana, which I would love for the cub, but we do have the mana for the grubs. And if we draw a land, we're doing okay. It's a bit risky, but I think I can keep this. We are on the draw, of course, so if we do hit a green source, then we are golden. What do we draw? A Harness Lightning. It's not too bad, actually. We can cast it, and it's something to do if we don't get an extra land. But we're going to get an extra land, because that's the way we roll. And my deck listens to me. It does things I tell it to. Okay, Tide Drifter. Is this, what, Grixis? Yeah, it looks like it. Oh dear. A 0/5 is Ooh, there's green mana. So we get a cub. Unfortunately, that doesn't really do much for us. We can spend the energy on Harness Lightning plus Long Tusk Club. Oh my god. Long Tusk Cub. We can spend the combat damage from it blocking and the rest of the Harness Lightning energy to kill it. That's what I was trying to say before I stood on my own tongue. Okay, I suppose we might as well try that out. He might have a burn spell or a removal spell for us. We shall see. I want it out the way though so we can start generating energy. I'll wait until the combat damage is dealt. Sweet. And then finish it off. Yeah, 3 damage please. Play the Evolving Wild since we don't have 1-drop. And pass the turn. From here on out, if he doesn't play a blocker, or at least a decent one, then we can start generating energy to pump up our cub and to build it up with the energy that the cub generates. So he has a tap land, so he's not playing anything progressive this turn. A Thopter Engineer is kind of a problem. We will sack that. We've got 2 red. We don't have a blue source yet, so I'll go grab... Oh, we do have a blue source in hand, but double blue is actually fine anyway. So, is he going to attack him with his Thopter token? He is. Okay. See, he could have presented a double block there, which would have forced me to play anything that generates energy to get past him. But he didn't do that. Which means he's probably not going to block. I think that's a fairly easy assumption to make. So we're going to get him for 2 here. See if he wants to pump. We should have played an energy generator before then. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Oops. Oopsie doodles. Dear. Right, well, with an island... we will play out a Renegade, I believe. Should have played this pre-combat. Would have been able to threaten the pump. Would not have blocked then. And then we could have gained some more energy. But I didn't do that. That might cost us. Probably will cost us. If we get a land drop, then we can thrive in grubs and hold up Displace to gain 6 energy from the Renegade and the grubs. Should be sweet. We might be going for a pummeler victory here. If we have a slip through space, then we can give it unblockable and get it through that way. So this is some sort of artifact strategy. Maybe with Marionette Master, since it's running black. I think that's the main reason to run black artifacts. Blue and red speak for themselves. White, you get the Anthem creature, don't you? It gives +1/+1 to every creature. There's also the Servo and Thopter Lord as well. For 4 mana, I think it costs. Unlicensed Disintegration. I'm going to kill one of our creatures and drain us. Apparently not going to do that. Not committing to that just yet, but he's letting us know that he has it. Which is good to know. We don't want to overcommit onto any creature now, since he handed over that little bit of information. Getting in for 1. Okay. So we could wipe the board here, and we'd be able to save our cub by making it a 4/4. We'd lose our Renegade, but he'd lose everything, because if we attack in, he's just going to block with the Automaton and gain 3 life. He's going to gain 3 life off this Radiant Flames anyway if we do that. And then our 4/4 gets disintegrated most likely, but he has to play an artifact before that in order to gain full value. So he might hold off a turn to play an artifact first, and then in which case we hold up the displace to keep it alive. I think that's the plan. So we will make it a 4/4. We will wipe the board. Get in for 4. Which undoes his life gain. And we'll gain 2 energy as well. So work back up to a pummeler victory. I think we want to get another green. Green seems like the only thing we're missing with the Evolving Wilds. So gain 2 energy. He might just pull the trigger on the removal spell now, but I doubt it. I think he's going to play an artifact first. But if he does, it's probably best that he does, rather than make us lose life plus kill a creature. Because we can keep it alive that way, if he does hold off a turn. I think that's what he's weighing up right now. Did I point out who he was? Rank 9, SP3310. Yeah, he's just going to pull the trigger on it now. Okay. That's fine. So we'll sack our Evolving Wilds and we'll go get a Forest, which means we can now cast our Hydras without paying energy if we ever get a Ether Hub or the sort. And I think we just want to get ourselves a grub down and generate that mad energy, yo. Pass the turn. We've got an Essence Flux to keep the grub alive and gain 2 energy from that. Oops. Yeah, he's definitely full on artifacts since he's running these guys. Foundry and Spectre. Okay. 3/2 that makes his artifacts cost 1 less. He's very low on cards now. So are we, kind of, so we don't exactly have the most advantage over him. Gonna put some counters on his guy, which is fine. Don't think we'll pull the trigger on the Essence Flux. I don't think there's any reason to do it. So, battlements into Pummeler. Takes us up to 7 energy. That's 2 triggers. Makes him a 4/4. We can go to 9, which can make him an 8/8. But we've already tapped out the haste stuff, so there's no reason to do that now. We can displace on his end step to gain a crap ton of energy. We just need him to tap out, though. That's the thing. We need to be able to get this guy through without any blocks. Needle Spires. With his man lands, that's an issue, of course. Vile Aggregate. Okay. He's going to get in for an attack here. If he does, we'll block and displace. I think we're going to displace anyway, so might as well. He's not, so we'll just displace. Gain 5 energy. Just need to find a slip through space, and we're pretty close to killing our opponent. Ether Torch Renegade. He's more energy. So we've got 16 now. That's 5 triggers on the Pummeler, so that's 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. We have a lethal amount of energy for our Pummeler, but he's never going to not block it. So I think we just want to hold on until we find our slip through space, or he taps out, one or the other. If he ever tries to remove it, we'll Essence Flux it in response. So he's going to have 2 removal spells for our Pummeler. Foundry Inspector. Okay. Well, there's a blocker. And he's going to put a crap ton of counters on it with his ruins. So his board is going wide. We also, to note, we have 12 damage worth of a Renegade as well with the energy. So we've got that going for us. Okay. Looks like he's coming in with his Shambling Vents, maybe with everything else as well. That's fine, I won't block that. This Essence Flux is purely for protection for our Pummeler now. So I think that's the route we're going to take to win this game. Slip through space. He's tapped out. Yep, I think we win. So, slip through space gives the Pummeler unblockable. Draw a land. Essence Flux to gain another trigger on our Renegade. Completely tapped out, no cards in hand. Up to 20 energy. Yeah, we've got you. Swings in with our Pummeler. Double, 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 double. And that is more than enough damage to kill him twice over, I believe. Skadoosh. And there we go, there's lethal. 64 damage to our opponent. We can kill him 3 times over. GG. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this week. So if you've enjoyed the content, then be sure to leave a like. It lets me know that you're enjoying the content that I make. And if you haven't already subscribed, be sure to do so and share it around. It helps me out a great deal, helps the channel as a whole, and then we can do more special things in the future. If you're not quite sure about subscribing, then be sure to stay for the end card, see the rest of the content that I make, and as always, I will see you next time. Bye bye.